Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Shotsuki service for the month of April. Nice to have everyone here and there joining us for service. Special welcome to our Shotsuki families who are able to gather to participate in this service and joining all the regulars that are here every Sunday. So welcome, special welcome to our Shotsuki families. I would like to introduce you to our chairpersons for today. Backed by popular demand, we have the Sloth family. Sadie and Sho and baby Tsuki are here once again for our Shotsuki service. They were planning to take a trip to Phoenix, Arizona, but they only made it to the other side of the Hondo, and then they had to hurry back. Such is the life of a sloth. But they're happy to be here. They really appreciate our Shotsuki services, and this is a special one for Mama Sho. It's a Shotsuki service for Grandma of the family, so she's here for that as well. As you can see, they are wearing their masks, reminding us again to continue to be cautious, safety-minded for ourselves and for others. And you can see they all have their onenju on, so they are ready for service. I'd like to go through our service order for today. We'll have the reading of the Hyobyakumon, Adorations, and then the reading of the Shotsuki names for this month. Then I'll take my seat up on the altar for the chanting of the Sambujo and Amida Kyo, half the Amida Kyo. So you can prepare your items so you can participate in this portion of the service. Please have Sambujo, Amida Kyo, Nembutsu, Ekoku. So these will be the chanting portions of the service, and I hope you're able to participate. Then I'll come back to the podium for our Dharma message. So with that, we will begin. Please join me in Gassho for the Hyobyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of April, the members of our temples have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of April. Please come up in Oshoko, here and at your homes, during the reading of the names. Doi, Raiji, Fukuoka, Nobuko, Futagaki, Shigeo, Hasegawa, Toshie, Ikeda, Kikuno, Imura, Sadae, Ishii, Infant, Kyoshi, Iwahashi, Yukino, Kaida, Alice N, Kanzaki, Sada, Kataoka, Yumi, Kawano, Katsufusa, Kihara, Tsuru, Kimura, Ryoko, Kinoshita, Fukuno, Kitajima, Tomosu, Komatsu, Louise, Kuge, Don, Kuge, Hatsuzo, Kusada, Yaozo, Machida, Jirouyamon, Maniwa, Infant Kevin, Matsuzaki, Yokichi, Maegoto, Kohei, Mitoma, Infant, Morotomi, Infant, Kachiyo, 長井、田頃、中村、浩平、中野、住民、中田、インフィント、中島、君、中山、明子、中山、実、中曽、ヴィジニア、富江、奈良原、時江、西野、インフィント、高志、大畑、留次郎、岡部、三重子、岡田、Gary、岡本、信子、Rice、Wilbur、酒井、牧太郎、関ヶ浜、広志、瀬戸川、鶴太郎、重松、登坂、島田、熊太郎、島田、太一、相馬、源太夫、杉山、静江、末安、進、田口、久子、高山、丸江、高柳、茂子、高柳、忠夫、滝沢、トマス、田中、熊尾、土屋、インフィン、久志、土屋、インフィン、月江、梅根、よしこ、牛島、リリー、Y、和田、小美濃、山本、東太郎、山本、義介、山岡、文雄、山岡、秀子、山岡、Jim、K、山岡、佳代、山下、秀夫、山崎、悟、柳、ベリ、米倉、林蔵、吉田、Toki. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of April. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Now we'll have Sutra chanting Sambujo and Amida Kyo. Oh.
「
150人区改正大やら監修書知識ロシャリオマカモケンデンマカカショマカカセネンマカクチラリアタシュリアンダガナンダアナンダラゴラキョモナダイミンズルアラダカルダイマカコインナクラアヌルダノゼト初代弟子よしょさまかさモンジュシリオジアイタボサケンダカダイボサジョショジンボサニョニョゼト初代ボサ給食大官人と無料商店大祝二次文豪ロシャリホ重税裁法果樹万国運動世界の万国落語東風文豪阿弥陀根源在説法シャリ法医動画公明医国落語国修上無宿単純小落公明国楽シャリ法国楽国土七十何十七十羅網七十五十改正司法宗祖医療税公医国明万国楽シャリ法国楽国土七法地悪毒水十万五中四体順に根社富士四辺街道根本ルリありご上上老閣薬位根本ルリあり社交着手名の理言直視地中連芸大名社林小式小公公式陽公釈式釈公釈式白公微妙高血シャリオ国楽国土長寿両税空徳将軍シャリオ異部国土調査天学黄金二次昼夜六時不満だらけ東国修上上位小丹各位英国小宗明家空用他法十万六分即位直次元と本国本直教業シャリオ国楽国土上寿両税空禄将軍物資シャリオ九条修十奇妙佐式市長白国弱法務チャリカ領賓が愚病市長や六時水和下音高音延長高音高力七宝大文八正道文行税東方高度音税音に開出念仏念法念相シャリオ尿物儀式長実税祭王将少々シャガイブ国土無三幕州シャリ東方部国土小部三幕同士明華教武実税小州長改税阿弥陀仏欲量法温泉流演技調査シャリ法異部国土利福水道小法五十九法羅網総 Gassho, Nembutsu, Nenpo, Nenso, Shishin, Shario, Kobu, Kokudo, Choju, Nyoze, Kudoku, Shogun, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning again, everyone. Today I wanted to share some stories from Reverend Bunyu Fujimura. I find it fascinating when I'm able to come across stories, books, reflections of the ministers that were serving during the time of the relocation. And so we have a story today. Reverend Fujimura, he was a couple years older than Reverend Tedao here in Alameda, maybe a few more years older than my father, Reverend Hogan Fujimoto. And so, but I remember his name. So when I was looking and noticed his book, I thought I would look at it. And Fujimura Sensei was serving in 1942 at the Salinas Temple and wrote a little bit about when they were picked up. He was considered to be possibly a spy for the Japanese government, and pretty much all of our BCA ministers were picked up, and suspicion there for community leaders, and in particular those who were, speaking Japanese as their primary language, and so they were looked upon with suspicion. And so at that time, immediately, these leaders were picked up. So Fujimura Sensei, along with several hundred other men, were taken to the immigration center in San Francisco and kept there. And so Sensei was recalling being in the gym, and during those days, a lot of people smoked cigarettes, and so maybe the majority of the men would be smoking cigarettes. And the gym, the air in the gym would just be filled with smoke. And so he was writing about this, and the happiest times, he said, were when they would be led out of the gym to go into the dining hall. And so as they're walking between the two buildings, there would be fresh air that they would enjoy having. So even after meals, they would try to linger and stay in the fresh air and gulping taking deep gulps of this fresh air and savoring each breath. He said, I never considered the delicious taste of fresh air. And so then they would go back into the gym where it'd be so smoky and not so pleasant. And so reflecting upon this, he's talking about how nice just to have a breath of fresh air. So this was his lead-in to another story, and this story is about a prisoner, Jyoshi Kamichida, and he was in a Hachijo Prison in Japan for murder. And Fujimura Sensei was bringing his story in and some of the reflections that this Kamichida person had as he was sitting in jail. And this is what some of the things that he had written. Let me share this with you. How truly blessed we are with earth, sun, and air that we receive from nature. I am ashamed. When I was living in society with all its blessings, I accepted without thought that there was noon, there was night, there was water, that there was air, and it didn't arouse the slightest interest in me. How unaware I was. When I consider it, isn't everything in front of our eyes a blessing? Now that I'm forced in this darkened room, I can see things from a different perspective. I'm led to wonder how high the sky, how darkly damp the earth, how emerald-like the sun's rays. Oh, how I am led to wonder about things like this. There's no higher understanding that we can become aware than the fact that we exist in the midst of a great and ineffable flow. How marvelously mysterious that I exist in the midst of that flow. At such times, I cannot consider mankind or the things of this world as other. They are all a part of me. Just to consider that I am alive is not enough. What a great blessing that I am warmed by the rays of the sun, that I am supplied with oxygen from the air, and receive foodstuffs grown in the earth. This is truly a great blessing. In order for me to grow and to finally pass takes so much. I am beginning to be aware of all things in this world, all persons circling around me, everything with me at the center, bringing me all of these blessings. So as this prisoner was sitting in his darkened room, he became aware, so much aware of all these things that we receive, that we take for granted, the air we breathe, the water we drink, and all these things that we try to remind ourselves, but we forget that we receive these things. Like Fujimura Sensei was saying, never thought to consider how delicious a taste of fresh air would be. And so this prisoner is coming to the same type of understanding, coming to recognize all these things that he had when he was, before he came to prison. Now he's realizing all the more that he is limited in his having such things. And so as you become aware of all these things that we have surrounding us at each moment, this is the infinite compassion coming to us. All of these things, this is Amida, awakening us to the truths of life. And this awareness, to become aware of this, is the infinite wisdom of Amida. And so each of these things, the compassion in all these surroundings, from the people we are surrounded with, friends and family and loved ones, the people we live with now, the people we're here to remember as Shotsuki families, and all of them are a part of this infinite compassion of Amida. And to become aware of them, to become aware of their effect upon our lives, is awakening to the infinite wisdom of Amida. So this is coming to us, And so not something that we earn by practicing, by being Buddhist and striving, but they come to us. And so all of these things gradually are awakening us. Amida is awakening us. Our recitation of the Nembutsu is bringing our thoughts and minds to Amida in this process of allowing the compassion to come to us, to acknowledge it, to awaken to it, to become aware of this. So this is our interaction in Namo Amida Butsu. So I hope we can notice this in our lives, notice it so that it can continue to grow. And these are the lessons that we learn anytime we come to any service, and particularly our Shotsuki services. So with that, I would like to close our message for today. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. So thank you again for joining us for this Shotsuki service. Always nice to have all of you here and appreciate it. Now we can come up and offer incense to conclude our service. So please come up here and there at your homes, however you have set up to do, offering incense or flower petals, rocks, marbles, however you have provided for yourself to do our incense offerings. Okay, so we'll light this incense. So please join me in Gassho and we will conclude this service. Nice to have our chairpersons here today. It's always nice to have everyone involved who is able to help to set up the services, from the flowers and the fruits and the obukban, everything that allows us to adorn our temples, to make the service settings. So we are appreciative of everyone who is contributing. So please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Namanda, 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 Namanda.